This is JordangeVision. Pull up a seat and kick up your feet. Welcome, guys. How we doing? Time for another Beyond Belief Factor Fiction reaction, and once again, we have reached the end of a season. Well, we're about to reach the end of a season. This is the Season 2 finale, Episode 13. I'm kind of hoping that season finales are not cursed, because if you recall the first season finale, that was when I got my one and only 0 out of 5. So obviously looking to do better than that today. Last episode, episode 12, I got 1 out of 5. I hadn't gotten a 1 out of 5 since episode 5 of this season. I actually got 4 and 5 were back-to-back 1 out of 5s, and, you know, I've done pretty well since then, so looking to do a little better again. So, you know, I've mostly gotten 3s, gotten a couple of 4s. Maybe this is the day I get 5, we'll see. So, yeah, let's finish Season 2 out on a high note, and go for the 5 out of 5. Let's do it. Before I get started, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and don't forget, reacting to art is sharing art. Channels like these benefit everyone from the viewers all the way up to the original creators themselves. Also, reminder, spoilers are likely, so if you haven't seen this episode yet and would like to, please feel free to click off and take care of that first. I'll be here when you get back. But for those of you who are sticking with me, pull up a seat, kick up your feet. It's season finale time. Beyond Belief Factor Fiction, Season 2, Episode 13. Here we go.
Tonight, we have a challenge for you. Can you tell fact from fiction?
I hope so. Is that what the show's about?
There are many people who look at this picture and see the outline of a Native American chieftain.
Yeah.
They're the feathers of the headdress.
Oh, I see something else too, though.
But yet, gaze a little longer, and you may see something else.
Yep.
An Eskimo figure in a snowstorm. This is his outline.
Yeah.
But what seems to be the face of truth may turn out to be a snow job.
No snow jobs here.
Watch this cat in my arms. It
Aw,
seems
kitty.
harmless and docile. You should say you were walking down the street, and suddenly our friend here darted out in front of your path. Perhaps you wouldn't feel so comfortable.
Black cat.
Away with his
My husband, Rob, always let me take care of the practical stuff. Like signing us up for this weekend money management seminar at this hotel. Rob was anticipating a dull 2 days.
Sounds like a dull 2 days.
Rob's imagination and a series of strange events would transform a dull 2 days into a weekend of terror.
You know what
So not a dull 2 days?
The great psychological stress that I'm under has to do with the fact that I canceled a tee-off time for you at a course that I'm trying to get onto for 3 months.
That would do it. Have you met my dad?
This was the moment that it all started for Rob.
I'd be a little scared seeing that in a hotel.
Barb, do they hold funerals in hotels? But
They actually might. Yeah, she doesn't see him.
I couldn't see anything even close to what Rob had described.
Well, maybe he already walked by. I mean, if it's an estate planning seminar, maybe it's a prop.
The bellman said the seminar's in the conference room to the left.
I think he meant left of the hallway, not left of the elevator.
All right, check it out. Loser buys dinner.
Weird thing to put a bet on, but okay. Okay, that door's locked. Let's go home. Oh. Oh, well, there's that casket.
For a moment, Rob felt justified that he had actually seen a casket in the lobby.
Not crazy.
It's a relief.
There you are.
Oh, hi.
It's one of our deluxe models. Did you get a look?
Trying to sell it?
Another time.
That's one of the problems. So often we mistakenly think we have all the time in the world.
Hey, you're a little creepy.
It's very comfy.
You trying to make him lie down?
You, really should try it.
Stranger asked me to lie down in the coffin. I don't think I'm doing it.
Later, I gotta go.
When it's time to go, you've got to go.
Yeah, you're about to murder him to get business, aren't you?
Rob wouldn't share it with me, but after that he was certain that the man was going to cause his death.
How do you know that if he didn't share it with you?
Feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm just a little preoccupied.
Ovens in this room, are there? Oh. Yeah, you're back. Yeah, she doesn't see him. No?
Let's take the stairs, okay?
Okay. What is it with you today?
Whether that creepy guy exists or not, it probably was a good idea to take the stairs.
News reports said that the accident resulted in 4 deaths. Not one person at the hotel recalled ever seeing Rob's mystery man.
Weird. Maybe he was dead.
Whatever it was that caused Rob's frightful reaction saved both him and his wife from that fatal elevator ride.
Let's talk about that one. Rob is the only one who saw the mystery man. So whatever Rob saw is, completely within Rob's head. Again, nobody else saw him, but nobody has to see him if it's, Rob's imagination. It is kind of a coincidence that, Rob, takes the wrong turn, goes down into that room, sees the casket. And, I don't think she saw the casket either. It is kind of a coincidence that, Rob has that experience, going down to that room, whatever it was. And, and then that accident happens right after that with, the same guy that Rob saw, in his vision down there. That said, if you consider that, the man is completely within Rob's imagination, everything else is not completely out of the question. It's a lot of coincidence, but it's not out of the question. So I am kind of going back and forth with this one in my head. Haven't really fully decided, to be completely honest. If it was just the elevator thing alone, I might have gone true. But, it's Rob's premonition that is kind of making me think otherwise. Because, both of those things together seem like a lot. I'm going to mark the first one down as fiction. It seems like a really well-constructed story. Actually, I think it could have happened, but I just think it's a lot of coincidence, so that's why I'm going that way. Anyway, I'm rambling. That was story number 1. Let's check out the next one.
Bus schedules often fall victim to unexpected obstacles like traffic blockages, passenger problems, weather, and so forth.
Oh, have you met the town bus in my town?
To show up or bring along something to read.
Yeah.
But be prepared for the unexpected at all times.
It's true though, when a bus is like competing with regular traffic,
a lot of guys have
you can't really rely on the
slick
schedule.
Rap. I get tongue-tied, everything comes out wrong, can hardly remember my own name, or even what planet I'm on.
Yeah, I hope we're on the same planet.
At least that's how it was, until I met Terry.
Let's pull over and talk to this girl on the bench.
Excuse me, did you happen to see a city bus on the way? It should have been here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the one you're waiting for, but actually, yeah, about 3 blocks back, there's a bus on the side of the road, but it has, black smoke pouring from the engine.
Yeah, that'll do it. At least now we have apps to, like, know how far away it is.
Oh.
Any chance I could get a lift with you?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're the bus now.
But just having her in the car next to me made my day. Well, who am I kidding? It made my week, my year.
Lucky man.
Jerry.
Terry and Jerry.
No, it's Terry.
I'm Jerry.
You never told me your last name.
Jerry Wright. W-R-I-G-H-T.
So you're the Mr. Right I've been waiting to meet my whole life.
But if that's the way you want to put it.
I knew she was about to walk out of my life. I needed to stop her.
Or where she lives.
I wish there's something I could do.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep smiling and laughing. It makes the world a nicer
Aww.
place.
That's the best answer.
That is so. You're one of the good guys. I'm really glad we met.
I wonder if she'd mind if Jerry stopped by again.
The next day at work, I told my buddy Neil what had
She
happened.
said all that, and you just let her walk away. You didn't get her phone number or nothing.
Trust me, nothing.
Great to meet you. Wish I could do something for you. In fact,
Yeah, he's getting the
there are more
rails.
pretty girls on Saturday nights that are sitting home alone, and you can imagine.
Oh,
And you know why? Because
5-second
like
rule.
you, but maybe you're the guy she's looking for.
a donut a little extra crunchy? That's all I'm thinking about right now.
What?
Yeah, he doesn't want it.
After work, I drove straight to the bus stop. I wanted to get there before 5 o'clock.
Yep, he's gonna catch her there
I
again.
couldn't believe I missed her.
Yep, not
Once
there.
I'd come this far, I decided there was no turning back.
Oh, gonna drive to her house again? Hello?
Hi, you must be Terry's sister.
Would you like to come in?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, she looks about the same too.
It was easy to spot Terry in the photos. She photographed like a
Okay.
movie star. I
So she
couldn't
does
spot the
live
sister
there.
I just... This is you?
Yeah. Let's see, that picture was taken about a month before Terry's accident.
Wait,
So I
Terry
guess
had
you
an
must be one of her
accident.
students. It's hard to believe it's been almost
Wait.
8 years since Terry passed away.
8 years.
Terry, the girl I'd given the ride to the day before, had died almost 8 years ago.
Maybe he's got a new conquest now.
Jerry Wright.
Wow.
What's so funny?
She told me not to worry. That she would send Mr. Wright to look after me.
Oh.
After that, and 1 year to the day after we'd met, Laura and I got married.
Wow, what a story.
Did Jerry really have contact with a woman who had been dead for almost 8 years? If not, who did he give a lift to on that first day? Did someone posing as the dead woman?
Talk about that one. There's a lot of moving pieces there. So yeah, he picks Terry up, brings her home after she misses the bus, yada yada, or doesn't really miss the bus, but the bus doesn't come. Brings her home, you know, she makes that Mr. Right line, you know. And then he meets Laura, going back to her house, and says Terry's been dead for 8 years. But you know, the last thing she said was she'd send Mr. Right to look after me. Which is so strange. Could Jerry have, you know, met this ghost the day before, and, you know, been led to her house and met Laura the next day, and she found Mr. Right, and, you know, directed him towards her sister? It's a lot. It's a lot. I think this story has a lot more coincidence than the last one did, and I ended up calling that fiction, even though I still thought there was a chance. But this one, I don't know if there's any chance. Like, there's way too much coincidence here. I think the show tends to weigh a little on the truth side of things. Like, I think it's easier for the show to actually produce a show like that, because, you know, they don't have to make so much up. And I think most episodes, correct me if I'm wrong, have had more true than fiction. I don't really like going fiction for the first two, but I think I'm going to have to. I mean, maybe it means I was wrong on the first one, but I definitely think this one's fiction. So that's what I got to go. So yeah, we got two. I've marked down fiction for both of them. Let's check out story number 3.
Did you ever have a job as a waiter or a waitress?
Actually haven't.
Try it for a day, you'll have a whole new appreciation for the work they have to do.
Still a pretty hard job, I think.
There were people around campus who thought I was some kind of Superman. My family didn't have a lot of money. I was putting myself through school, taking a full load, and working 2 and 3 part-time jobs at once.
It is a lot.
I just knew it. I was determined to go on to medical school, and nothing was going to stop me.
Do what you gotta do.
Tammy came from a wealthy family and could have had any guy on campus she wanted. That she picked a regular working Joe like me.
Yeah, future med student.
I thought you had
not a bad catch.
We can see my parents anytime.
Yeah, but I've never seen
your
parents. A hard-nosed captain of industry. I can handle it.
I'm not worried about you handling it.
I know some people have those anxieties.
Pre-med. A doctor's not good enough for their little Tammy.
You really want to know what he said?
Oh, what did he say? This ought to be good.
I told him that you were going to specialize in emergency room medicine, and he made a big deal that that was the lowest paying of all the medical professions.
Oh, the horrors.
Okay. I really think we need to meet. You, me, your folks.
Let's get it done.
We need to get past this parent thing. Because if we can't, then...
Then what?
If you're getting married, then you're marrying him, not your dad.
I don't know why I pushed so hard. I should have realized she needed time to work things out.
I have a feeling I know what's coming. As soon as the scene started, an idea popped into my head.
I tried calling her to apologize between taking orders, but the line was busy. Maybe she was talking to another guy.
She couldn't work that quick, could she?
What happened next came right out of the blue. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Oh no. Oh no.
The signs of a heart attack were very clear.
Oh my god, is he breathing?
You're pre-med, you know what it is.
Does anybody here have a phone? Anybody?
Well, I wasn't
If this were today, everyone would have a phone.
All we had to do then was hold on until the ambulance arrived.
You saved him.
Saved my life, son. You're gonna make a terrific doctor one day.
Your father's gonna be all right. Man.
Let me guess who this is.
Tammy had rushed to the restaurant to see if her dad was okay. I had just saved the life of her father.
Yeah.
The same man I had never been allowed to
The
meet.
feeling I got, this is exactly what that is.
If Kyle hadn't been at that particular restaurant on that night, then Tammy may have lost both her father and a happy future with Kyle on the same day. Is this story of true love based on reality? Or are we just serving up a plate full of lies?
All right.
We'll tell you whether this story is true.
You know, this would make a great movie, by the way. Or at least a great TV episode. Well, it is a TV episode, but like, if it was a TV episode on another show, that it would make a great episode. I mean, again, it's a lot of coincidence, but it looked like it was a small town, small college town, whatever. Not out of the ordinary. Like, everybody goes to eat at restaurants, you know. You know, Tammy's parents are probably there and, you know, happen to They hadn't met, so they wouldn't know that their waiter is, you know, the guy that their daughter is dating. And as it turns out, the guy who saved them. It's a lot of luck because, you know, he happened to be there to save her father, and, you know, maybe they wouldn't have gotten back together again if, you know, Kyle hadn't been there. And a little bit of coincidence is probably not as much coincidence as the other two stories had, because I don't think this is, like, wild and crazy out there. And, you know, there's not really anything that's impossible. I'm going to mark this as true. So there's my answer. We'll check out the fourth one.
Back in 1891, when James Naismith first cut out the bottom of a peach basket and
Canadian.
mounted it, little did he know he was inventing a game that would surpass both baseball and football as America's most popular sport. Throughout our country,
I don't know if
young
it's most
men and
popular
women
anymore,
spent hours on
but it's pretty popular.
Slam dunk, things that go beyond the game of basketball and directly into the game of life.
How many takes did that take?
I admit it. Back when I was starting high school, I was obsessed with sports, especially basketball.
Oh, all that reading's gonna make you go blind.
Well, I suppose it's a relief to know you're way out of danger.
Mark, Danny, let's move it. They are not expected to hold off the start of school until you get there. Home right after school. I'm working at the store till 7.
Oh, Mom, I gotta hit the park. I gotta work on my skills.
You gotta hit the books, work on your algebra.
The gymnastics of a student athlete.
So every morning when we left the house, she stopped to pray to her angels.
Please watch over Mark and Danny and their father and bring our family safe and happy back into this house. Amen.
Amen.
You can be religious as you want, but, you know, those are just ceramic angels.
Mom had, but I wasn't the only one that hung out there every day. There was this one girl who made giant chalk drawings all over the place.
Oh, we have a chalk chick. There's a chalk chick outside the Rogers Center, too.
There is Big Al.
Ooh, who's Big Al?
Big Al came to shoot every afternoon at 4 sharp. And was he ever something to see?
Looks like a big baller.
Big Al had been a star player in high school, recruited by over 30 colleges. But the summer
what's he
after
doing here?
graduation, a car accident messed up his knee.
Ah.
The only basketball he played was here at the Clayton Street Park.
I mean, still got enough knee to dunk on that basket.
Well, Mom said she wants us home before dark.
Mom said she won't be home till 7.
You want to stay? Show funeral.
Every man for himself here.
I was a big kid for my age, so I wasn't afraid to be alone. I should have listened to my mother.
What's going on?
Come on, man, I gotta get home.
Oh, you want this ball? Yeah.
Oh no.
You
What's
want that
going
ball,
on?
huh? Maybe I'll sell it to you. How much you got? Just empty out your
no.
pocket, and we'll see how much this ball is worth to you.
Okay, these guys are
Make me ask
dangerous.
twice. While you thinking about it, why don't we see if I can't catch that ball with my knife?
I highly suggest you two go find another place to play, now.
I mean, they had a knife, but scared of Big Al.
Hold on, Big Shot. This is the deal. When you come home from school, you're gonna go to the park and you're gonna thank Big Al for saving your lucky butt. Oh,
Sounds reasonable.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. Thanks for what?
Yesterday, for helping me with those dudes.
When was this supposed to take place?
What, he doesn't remember it?
You ever seen me here after 5 o'clock?
No.
That's just it, man. You got the wrong person.
It wasn't him, eh?
But if it wasn't Big Al, then who was it?
That question bothered me for years, but I finally think I know the answer.
Ooh, okay. Maybe it was an angel.
The two brothers were sure that it was Big Al who saved Mark that day at the park. Yet Big Al's job records indicated he was at work the time he was seen on the playground. Did some guardian angel take the form of Big Al in order to protect Mark? Will you find something of substance, or is there nothing but net?
Oh, the references. Okay, talk about this. If Big Al was at work, it obviously wasn't him. So, who was it? I take it from this story that, you know, Big Al is, you know, not a ghost, or at least not fully a ghost, because, you know, he is a guy who shows up from 4 to 5 every day and has a job. So, at least the real Big Al, you know, is a living person. But the person who showed up to save Mark, could it have been a guardian angel? Could it have been like someone else who looks like Big Al? I guess Big Al could have siblings or whatever. If Big Al, you know, comes by this park every day, maybe his siblings, you know, also live pretty close by. It's a tough one though. Like it's again, it's a theme for like every story we've seen today. But coincidence. It is also kind of weird that, you know, a guy with a knife, even though, you know, the rescuer was bigger than them, you know, a knife is a knife. And again, like, I'm still talking about this and still not sure what I'm about to mark down here. I'm kind of erring this time on the side of stranger things could happen. I'm going to mark this story as truth. Now I have 2 fictions, now I have 2 truths. We have 1 story to go before we get our answers. So let's have a listen. Last story of the season.
Stuff of a lifetime. Some sentimental, some frivolous, some actually have worth. They line shelves, decorate mantelpieces.
Oh, my grandma's house was full of stuff like this.
Mildred Grayson knows that she's going to die. She also knows that her small family is about to descend upon her home to gather the stuff of her life. It's a family reunion inspired not by love, but by greed.
Jeez.
She decided to spend her remaining days here at home.
Oh, it's
in that time,
well, it's one of Adam Sandler's grandmas. I can't remember which movie.
Your blood
Happy
pressure's
Gilmore, maybe?
just fine. How are you feeling?
Old.
Oh, welcome to my world.
Let's do this pill.
Maybe not that old, but
When I first thought of getting into nursing as a profession, I was afraid the worst part would be dealing with patients who were at the end. To my
be a
surprise,
pretty
I not
creepy
only
part.
found work, Grayson.
That is such a wonderful picture of you two. There's so much love there. The person who's making my wedding dress. I'm having her design it exactly the same as yours.
That's
I am
sweet.
counting on you.
I wouldn't miss it.
Oh, I hope so.
That's something I want you to have.
There's no time to talk about that now.
You always change the subject.
Oh,
Right now you have
this might be the only time.
Your children are here.
She doesn't want to see her children. They're just going to fight over everything.
When the time comes, we'll be lucky to get a broker to list this shack as a fixer-upper.
Yep, all you can think of.
Around much to have. You know, Mother could have moved to a retirement home years ago, but you know her. No place had room enough for her little treasures.
Sentimental value.
Mrs. Grayson appreciated these infrequent visits from her daughters, although they always seemed to be brief and somewhat strained.
You look well.
The tension in that room,
Anyway,
I'm afraid of it coming to this room.
Said Mother mentioned something she wanted me to discuss with you.
Oh, yes?
She has some old jewelry set aside that she wants you to have.
Oh, that's
The
very
problem
kind.
is she can't remember where she put it.
At least she's not keeping
I
it
do
for herself.
appreciate that. Your mother and I have had some very nice visits over tea, so maybe this old kettle will be just the thing.
The kettle?
Yes.
Well, whatever.
Be a nice memento, I think.
That night, just after 2 a.m., I had come down to check on Mrs. Grayson and discovered she had passed away peacefully in her sleep. Now, some 10 hours later, it was still sinking in.
Yeah, it's her mom, and all she's thinking about is dumping crap into a box.
I know this is all happening very fast, but we do have our own families to get home to.
Of course. No, no,
Just
no.
trying to get her out of there.
Help yourself to anything you want. All headed for the trash as far as I'm concerned.
There's nothing there you could use. Wow. Did you get the kettle you wanted?
Mrs. Grayson had often spoken of her long and happy marriage. So for
Okay.
me, this seemed like the perfect memento.
Okay, that's a good one
I
too.
thought I might even put it on my own wedding cake.
Yeah, wash it first. It was in the garbage.
That night, the tea kettle woke me from a sound sleep. The stove had somehow turned itself on, causing the water in the kettle to boil.
That's
The
weird.
steam from the kettle had melted the base of the wedding cake figures.
No.
In the melted wax, there were 2
What?
diamond earrings. They must have been hidden inside.
Well, those are
The
yours, little
earrings
girl.
turned out- This was the jewelry that Mrs. Grayson wanted me to have.
Well, I guess so.
The fact that Beverly happened to select a hidden treasure from the trash could have been just a coincidence. But then what about the stove turning on by itself to heat up the tea kettle?
That part's a little weird.
No problem.
So we got one more story to talk about, and then we get our answers. Our last answers of the season. Do I think this one's credible? You know, she talked about taking the kettle first, and then she found that little wedding figurine. And, you know, it was her last night in the house. She was woken up by the kettle, which somehow the stove had been turned on. We don't know how. I guess the heat from the kettle melted the figurine, and there was some golden earrings, or diamond earrings, rather. The earrings that, you know, she was talking about before she died. Do I think this story is believable. Well, if it is, first of all, shame on those daughters that they didn't even seem to care that their mama just died. It was just all about, taking what they wanted and throwing most of the crap in the garbage, the actual passing of their mother seemed to be very secondary to them, which is, I don't claim to know them, but yeah, it struck me as odd. But again, this is something, it's not impossible. Like, again, I don't know how the stove got turned on. There must be some reason for it, I would think. Maybe she cooked something before bed and forgot all about it. Like, I don't know if maybe one of the daughters cooked something without the nurse's knowledge and forgot about it. If the story is true, something would have to have happened like that. I'm trying to think of how it could be possible, but, I do think it is. I'm going to mark this last story as true. So, I've got my answers. I've marked the first 2 stories as fiction, and I've marked the last 3 stories of the episode and of the season as truth. So, yep, moment of truth. Let's get our answers.
It's time to find out which of tonight's stories are inspired by actual events and which are total works of fiction. How about the story of the man who was haunted by the fellow with a coffin? True or false?
It's very comfy.
Someone said false.
You, really should try it.
That would creep me out.
When it's time to go, you've got to go.
Did you think this story
He's trying to
really
lure her to the elevator, too.
Not this time. It's false.
False. Got it right. Only for
How
one
did you
so
judge
far.
The story bus stop? Fact or fiction?
So I said fiction on this one.
It's hard to believe it's been almost 8 years since Terry passed away.
Yeah.
Was this story of a ghostly Cupid inspired by a real occurrence? No way.
No.
We made it up.
2 for 2.
Now let's look back at the story of the pre-med student who unknowingly saved his girlfriend's father.
Said truth on this one.
Gonna make a terrific doctor one day.
Gonna make a terrific son-in-law one day.
Father's gonna be all right. Thanks to this fine young man.
Was this story of fortuitous timing based on an actual event? Yes, it was.
Yes.
It happened. Conducted
First
by
3
author
right.
Robert Traylens. Let's take a look at the tale of the playground that seemed to be protected by some angelic spirit.
All right, so I said truth on this one as well.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. Thanks for what?
Yesterday, for helping me with those dudes.
Would have been like, yeah, I did that. Maybe get a medal or something.
Was this story inspired by an actual event? Yes, it was.
Yes. 4 for 4. I have a chance for 5. Let's get it done.
The story of the wedding cake dolls that concealed a valuable treasure. Real or unreal?
This is real. I've got my first 5 out of 5.
For all I know, she gave it away years ago.
Well, a gift really isn't necessary.
We know what happened now.
The story of the surprise gift from beyond is inspired by an actual event. A similar story took place. According to first-hand
5 out of 5, ladies and gentlemen. Last season finale, I got my 0, and now I've got a 5.
Beyond belief. I'm Jonathan Frakes.
Join us
Took
for
me 2
more
whole
stories
seasons.
next time.
All right, let's wrap this up. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I am so pumped that I finally got a 5 out of 5. I was thinking about, my last season finale when I got my 0. We're at the second season finale, and I got my first 5 out of 5. Like, how does that happen? That's a beyond belief story in itself, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if it's worthy of the show, but, it's just crazy how that happened, right? So the next time you'll join me for Beyond Belief, it will be Season 3. Maybe by the time you get to the end of Season 3, something else crazy will happen. But, yeah, in the meantime, and by the way, I totaled my entire score for the season, 36 out of 65. So what percentage is that? Let me just calculate quick. 36 out of 65 is 55.4%. Yeah, if I average that out, it's 2.77 per episode, which is close to 3, which, it speaks to my average. I think my average has been pretty much 3 all season and pretty much all throughout the run. So pretty consistent, I would say. But yeah, my first 5 out of 5. I don't know where to go from there, but still got a couple of seasons to watch and some more stories to take in and see how I can do. Maybe I'll get another 5 out of 5 at some point. We'll see. I'm so glad that finally happened, guys, and I'm so glad you were here to watch it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check out my sports vlogging channel, JordangeVlogs, And until next time, this is Jordan saying you can be productive sitting at home on your couch. All you need is a TV, a great catalog, and a vision. This has been JordangeVision. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. 5 out of 5, baby.